I watched the whole Tim Pool thing go down. He's an infinite better YouTuber than I will ever be, a better content creator. I've met him. He was incredibly nice and gracious. Incredibly nice and gracious. Everybody I met at the house was incredibly nice and gracious. There's Brett out there from Pop Culture Crisis. That is a good dude, right? Luke is a good dude. And Tim's a good dude. Tim's a good dude. He is. I wouldn't throw my employees under the bus, but I think we got more context the next day because he's got a life-changing thing going on, which I think is going to be incredibly fucking good for him.
What is it?
He's having a kid. He's having a kid. Yeah, he's getting married and having a kid. And that's like fucking great. And you know what he probably figured out? He's like, I've got 30 people at my house that I'm basically taking care of like kids. And now I'm going to have my own kid. I need to focus on that. I get that. I absolutely get that. I still would just do a private meeting, maybe.
Right.
And he's got to change a lot of things. And I think he did say on his live stream, like, I can't work this hard and have a kid. Now, I know what he means. I know what he means. Okay, for one, like, Tim does work very hard. Like, Tim is on hours a day, right? So people will go work, and I agree with that. He's not going out into the fucking salt mines or anything. He's got the greatest job in the world. He's also got a huge bank account, which helps. I remember when, like, we had our second child, Melissa had a cesarean and was because she owned her own business, so she had to be there. She was at work 2 weeks later, and either grandma or I had the kid, and I was taking Logan as a tiny infant with the breast milk that Melissa had pumped to the fucking comic shop, right? Because Melissa had to use her hands at work. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And we were trading off with grandma and stuff, and we made it work. I think he'll be fine. I would recommend, being involved in the raising of your kid, not having a nanny, but that's just me. You make it work.
It is hard. It's hard, but at least in my case, I wanted to do it. It was my excuse to not go out. It was like, oh, darn. Go to the sports bar and watch sports and drink the beer. I got to stay home with my kids, which I loved. So you just have, but look, I forgive Tim. You're allowed to have a bad day.
Yeah, of course.
But I'll say with my team, I always say, like, look, we don't have to be perfect as long as it's entertaining. So we goof on each other when the shit goes south, and we laugh about it. And then Alan will, he'll get me. We I get inged or whatever. It's funny,
It is.
But don't take it all that seriously.